In our last video, we saw examples of nonverbal engagement strategies in the classroom. During this video, I want to tell you about different partner and team engagement strategies. The first strategy is turn and talk, which is also called think, pair, share. In this strategy, students are asked to have a purposeful discussion with a partner on a specific topic, which means that every student is responding rather than calling on a few students in a large group discussion. After students have discussed a question or topic for a specific time, the teacher asks for volunteers to share a few responses. Turn and talk can be used at the beginning of the lesson to activate prior knowledge or review content, during the lesson to generate ideas or opinions and clarify misconceptions, or at the end of a lesson to review critical content and make connections to previously learned information. Our experience coding classrooms in Kentucky shows that this strategy is often underutilized. Even though this strategy can be added to any lesson in an unplanned manner, we encourage you to plan your questions and prompts ahead of time so that productive and meaningful discussions occur. Here are a few helpful tips for using the turn and talk strategy. Number 1, be intentional about assigning students to partners. For example, pair students who are low performing with students who are middle performing. Number 2, initially explicitly teach and model the procedure as well as expectations for how to work with peers appropriately. Number 3, encourage students to write down their responses on sticky notes or paper so that they are prepared to share out. And number 4, provide clear and consistent cues for how much discussion time is available. Have you ever experienced increased success after you committed a specific process, concept, or term to memory? That is the big idea behind the cued retell strategy. In this strategy, students work in pairs and one partner retells information or terms they have read or learned about, while the other partner listens and provides prompting and support when necessary. This strategy pairs well with lesson reviews or as a post-reading comprehension assignment. One of the cool things about this strategy is that it can be paired with a verbal or written response. Watch this short video to see this strategy in action.
Okay, we just finished reading chapter 1 of this book, and instead of me asking the whole class questions, we're going to do something called cued retell. And that just means that Will is going to ask you questions, and he's going to cue you if you get the answer wrong. He'll say, the red answer is, and his job is to be your coach, okay? And then I'll say switch, and you'll be the coach, and he'll be the answerer, okay? So go ahead, Will.
Where does the story take place, and why do you think that?
Takes place in Minnesota.
Yeah, St. Paul, Minnesota. And then, who is Mr. Singleton?
Thomas's teacher.
Yeah. Why did Thomas have to meet with Mr. Singleton?
Because he had an F in his English class.
And then the last question is, how many missing assignments did Thomas have?
47.
How do you do, Will?
Good.
Good job. Okay, go ahead and you quiz Will.
What is Mr. Singleton like?
He's always like quoting the poems, and
Yeah.
then he has like bad teeth, and he's like smart.
Yep. What is Thomas like?
He's like, he doesn't have a good work ethic, and he's not very like good at school.
What is Thomas's summer job?
He works at the some kind of like convenience store, like grocery store.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, so you guys did a great job with that. Next time, make sure give your partner praise when he gets them right, okay? And you too, Will. Give your partner praise, okay? Good job.
Here are some tips for using the cued retell strategy. When switching roles, consider giving students different prompts or reading passages to retell. Consider providing students with a list of possible cues to help with recalling information. Explicitly teach students how to be effective listeners and speakers. This skill has a huge payoff. Consider using the cued retell strategy for non-academic processes such as social skills instruction. The third partner and team strategy is a cooperative learning strategy developed by Kagan called Numbered Heads Together. In this strategy, each student is placed on a team and assigned a number within the team. Students put their heads together to answer a question or solve a problem. Then the teacher randomly selects a student from each team to respond. Numbered heads together works well with solving mathematics problems, answering comprehension questions, or reviewing previously learned materials. This strategy helps to increase student engagement because each student is accountable for knowing the answer and sharing an answer with the class or team. Here are a few helpful tips for using numbered heads together. Number 1, after the initial student provides an answer, ask a different student on the same team to explain the team's thinking. Number 2, provide clear and consistent cues for how much time is available and consider using a visual timer. Number 3, combine the hand signal strategy by prompting students to show a thumbs up or a thumbs down if they agree or disagree with the team's response. Check out this next video where we discuss more partner and team strategies.